So my question is, you don't really think you're gonna win Sunday night, do you?
Oh man, do what you got on that, Sacker. I'll let you answer that first because I'm just disgusted over here with the Chiefs in the background
No.
and everything, you know.
Oh
It's
man.
cozy over here.
Okay, whatever. So my honest opinion, I don't know what to expect from this Broncos team. One week we're beating the Cow. I mean, even though I do question, okay, I should say 1 week we are beating the Chargers, a talented team. The week before we're losing to the Eagles. I mean, I just don't know what to expect from this team. I don't think anybody
Yeah,
does. So,
yeah,
and based on history, I've kind of had to see it to believe it. So I guess cautiously, I will say I don't think so. That's just based on it. It just depends on what team we get
Shows
on
up.
Sunday. Yeah.
One thing I gotta cut in real quick and say is that when the Eagles came to town, like I was downtown working the event that I did for the Discovery Plus TV show thing, and there were Eagles fans all over the place.
There were a
Like
lot of
there were a lot of people downtown. There were Eagles fans, and like when I because that was the week after you guys stomped the Cowboys, and like I was like, dude, like the Eagles are gonna get their shit rocked. Like I was like the people that were there, I was like, are there this many Eagles fans like coming to watch their team get beat up by the Broncos? Like that was my mindset because of how you guys did against the Cowboys. And then I found out later that like that is not what happened at all. I was like, what the hell? Like, what did you guys do?
I'll just jump in about Eagles fans and just in general. I'm not surprised because especially when that sports team, when that city, when they're behind their teams, they show up in droves. I mean, when the Phillies were good, that place was the Coors Field was packed with. But I just want to say like Eagles fans showing up that when they believe in their team and whatnot and excited, they show up, man. So yeah, there were a lot of Eagles fans at that
yeah.
game. Absolutely.
Eagles fans are some crazy fans.
Mm-hmm.
When they're the true Eagles fans. But then again, it's just like Philadelphia fans. You never know because I mean they will boo
Oh
their own
yeah.
team. They will boo
Absolutely.
their own team. They will boo their own mamas. They will boo everybody. But I've seen everybody get booed in Philadelphia, and if they're that dedicated to where they'll come out to your city and just they'll boo their own team out in your city too, even
That's
wearing their
true.
own gear.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
but yeah, I don't know. Honestly, you know, that's probably what the problem was is that Bob was giving us credit. When Bob gives us credit, then it just jinxed the hell out of us, which
Yeah.
is what he's done for years. So
Exactly.
yeah, I don't know, man. We've been inconsistent. We've been disgustingly inconsistent this year.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised we got the record we got. I'm not gonna lie. I think a lot of people are.
So what do you think about this weekend then? Like, so it's a Sunday night game, obviously. They flexed it. It means a lot more now after you guys beat up the, the Chargers. And I think it's kind of like the Chiefs and the Broncos have kind of had similar seasons, but in very different ways. Like, I feel like the Chiefs played terrible and they were a shell of themselves early on in the year. In lately they've been a lot better, but still there's that question. Like, it's kind of like the Broncos. Who is this team? Are they contenders for the Super Bowl like they've been the past couple of years? Or have they like fallen? Have they just believed in their own name and not done the work? Or is Andy lost a step? Like, or are they every bit that same team? They're just getting hot at the right time. One thing Sacker talked about when we were talking about the beginning of this year is the Chiefs needed to get shore up that offensive line, and that has happened. Like I was skeptical because they changed basically the whole offensive line, but they have shown up. Like they have done really, really well, which is great. Like the only question now it hasn't been the O line, which is great. It's been the defense. It's been um, inconsistent offense, even though they're still doing great, but it's been other things. And so this weekend, I as personally like I feel like if both teams show up to play, the Chiefs I think will edge them out. But I feel like if the Chiefs don't show up, they're gonna lose. And I don't even think it'll be close.
Yeah, I don't see. I think it's gonna be. I definitely think it's gonna be close regardless, because just I don't know. The Chiefs have pretty much found their groove of late. Honestly, I was very surprised that they were kind of getting their ass handed to them at the beginning of the year. I'm not gonna lie, they didn't look like the Chiefs team that I've seen the last couple of years. I was like, wow, they're on the decline even with Mahomes and Hill and Kelsey and everybody else you can think of, like still playing. They're still getting their ass handed to them, but now they seem to find their groove, which it's obvious that freaking Andy Reid is, I don't know, just quit focusing on the freaking buffet line and started getting back to his team or whatever. And like, I'm just disgusted, obviously, that they're doing so well lately. Um, I don't know. I think it all depends on, to me, it all depends on if we can get pressure on Mahomes and if we can shut down the run. If we can make them a
Yeah.
one, if we can shut down the run, and just make them a um, one-sided team as far as for them just depending on all pass and things like that. Um, and of course, Mahomes is going to get his scrambles on in there, and he'll pick up some first downs, which I hate. But I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close regardless, and it's going to come down to those two things. If we can stop the run, and then if Teddy doesn't turn the ball over, then I think we're going to be all right.
I would agree with you. And I think the Chiefs, that's the one thing I think the Chiefs O line has gotten really good at is running the ball. Like
Mm,
our rookie center is graded out as the best center in the league, regardless of rookie or he's amazing. Like he's just been awesome. And then our right guard that we got in the draft, he was like a 6 rounder. He's also been one of the top, like at his position, no matter regardless of being a rookie or not. And then we've got like other big name guys, Orlando Brown. We got in the from the Ravens. We traded our first round pick for him. He's getting better. He had a rough start, but he's getting a lot better. And then Tooney, our left guard, has also been really, really good because he's just been consistent as hell. It's our right tackle that's been kind of like the two guys have been in and out, like injured. So the right tackle's been kind of a question mark, but the rest of those guys, they come to play, man. They've been like I haven't seen the Chiefs team like just knock people off the ball like they've been doing lately. Because that's the one thing the past few years they've been very very finesse type offensive line. They haven't addressed it until this year, and that's why I'm like excited about it. As long as Andy Reid like decides I'm actually gonna run the ball because he doesn't do it enough. Like I feel like that's the problem. Like if you would just take 5-6 yards a clip, like there's nothing wrong with that. Like keep doing that. But he just gets cute and he does these weird plays and he'll throw like screens that like the screens do work, but like he'll do these random things that's like stop with the trick plays, run the damn ball, like smack some people in the mouth. You've got players that can do that. Just do it. So
yeah, well, no pun intended. Andy Reid doesn't like running. And I'm not just talking about in the South, unless the dinner bell, it's usually the dinner bell, but
Oh
he
man.
doesn't like running, but he has been all about pass like his whole life, even in
Oh,
Philly
man.
when he had, LaShawn McCoy or whoever else. Yeah, he utilized them when he had to, but the dude was pass, 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 bro. He's a pass happy quarterback. Coach, which I honestly like. I like coaches that like the pass more than the run game. I mean, you also like to have a run game that sets up the pass, but I honestly I like coaches that just sling it, bud. That go for that. When it's like 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2 or something, and then they go for a bomb, and catch the other team off guard and get a touchdown rather than that first down, and then they'll just go for it on 4th if they miss it. Like that's the Andy Reid type of style. I don't like giving this dude credit, but credit
You
is
can
what
give Andy
I mean.
Reid credit. Like just because he's a Chiefs coach doesn't mean that he isn't like an awesome guy or a great coach
No,
or
he is.
like.
He's a good dude. I might be giving him some weight comments, but he's a good coach, man. He's a really
You'd rather
good
have
coach.
him than Fangio, let's be honest.
Oh man.
Oh, please, but I'd rather have a freaking tree stump than Fangio most of the
See, and
time.
that might be another reason why the Broncos lose. I think Fangio. If Fangio
I didn't
comes
think
with a bad play, comes with a bad game plan or whatever,
clock management, but the dude don't know clock management.
challenges.
Challenges. Oh my god, I'm glad you brought that up. Like, I
Oh
don't
my
even
god.
understand why he challenges sometimes. Like, I mean, goodness sakes, people that don't even watch football can realize that the challenges that
I
he
got,
makes
I got.
are not gonna are not gonna be reversed.
So,
Like, I'm
so
just
yeah, the one against the Chargers that happened, like I didn't
That was
even.
stupid.
I didn't
That
even.
was stupid.
I didn't even question it. I was like, they're gonna lose like the challenge. Like I had no, like I didn't even see the replay. I'm like, Fangio's like
that happens once every game. That
he does.
Fangio
Like,
has some
yeah.
weird challenge that has no chance of being overturned. And
you know what it is? It's like doubling down when you have 22 in blackjack. It's like you know you're gonna lose, but you know what? I'm pissed off. I'm gonna throw more money at it anyway. Like,
what it is just Fangio trying to like win over some fans that don't know their ass from their hole in the ground, being like, "Oh, yeah, he's really trying here, using the challenge." You know what I mean? But like that's like fucking challenging the spot of the ball. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, that ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna ever get it, unless it's clear as could be. You know what I mean? Like on a spot call, that, like on a run, and
right.
they're not gonna have a really good angle unless it's like clear as can be. You know what I'm saying? But you can't do that. But that's Fangio. Like he's like, damn, I gotta use this challenge. I have to use this challenge somewhere, or else the fan base is gonna think I don't give a shit, and they're gonna think I suck. Well, we think you suck anyways, bro. So,
so you should be wanting the Broncos to lose because then that's a shorter trip to firing Fangio.
I'd like to beat the Chiefs more so.
Mhm.
I'd like to beat the Chiefs more
It
so.
goes the team above.
What is it?
above
13? What is it? 13 straight games now?
No, it's 11. I mean, it'll be 12 here in a few days.
Okay. See, yeah, I lost count. See, that has.
It's been a minute. Like we've gone through 2 presidents since you guys beat us last.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Jeez. And you call that last one a president? What are you doing, man?
No, not at all. Not at all.
We're not going to get political.
Yeah, let's not go through that. Yeah, I think we.
No, hey, listen. I've said this.
Not that the 5 people that watch this are going to get offended, but
I know, right? Well, listen.
Whatever.
The past 2 years, I thought you guys were going to beat us for sure. And I've been saying it. Like I think, and I told you guys at the very beginning of this year, if Teddy Bridgewater wins the QB battle, then you guys are going to beat the Chiefs this year because I believe that he is obviously much better than Drew Lock.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, you have a point. The last year's game, which was also one of the games, the game that was on Sunday night was it was the Chiefs home game, and I felt that Drew Lock was a huge reason why they lost that game. I mean, he threw I mean, the game was close, but he threw this stupid pick in the first quarter that just it was one of those picks that it was one of the picks that he's always thrown and whatnot. I mean, I thought he was the difference of why they ended up losing that game. And the game was pretty close. I think it was only a 3-point game going into the fourth quarter or whatnot. I think they lost by 10 or something like that. But I mean, you do have a point on that. So
I think the Broncos are just a bad matchup against the Chiefs anyway, because you guys do have a really good defense. You play the pass really well, and as far as your offense, you guys have big receivers that can catch balls all the time, and like I feel like if you guys again, it will be a closer game for sure if you guys are on it. So I'm definitely worried. Like I wouldn't be surprised if you guys won at all, but I don't see you guys blowing out the Chiefs. But I don't see it being a blowout either way.
I want to go back to that. I do want to go back real quick to that. I do agree. I do want to go back to the fact that Andy Reid doesn't like to run in more ways than one. I do want to say I kind of nodded my head when you guys were saying that. I think similar to we don't know what Broncos team we're going to see on Sunday. I don't know what Chiefs team we're going to see on Sunday. I think one of the biggest reasons on offense why the Chiefs have struggled is because Andy Reid doesn't like to run the ball as much, and defenses have kind of copied the Tampa Bay defense in terms of just setting back their two safeties and essentially daring the Chiefs to either run the ball or take what the defense gives them. And it took them a while, but the Chiefs have finally, in the Raiders game, Patrick Mahomes was patient. And they still threw the ball a lot, but he was more patient with the ball and didn't necessarily take the deep balls for the most part. Against the Packers and against the Cowboys, they ran the ball a lot more. So I think they're finally getting and realizing that we just have to take what the defense gives it, especially when your defense is playing decently well at this point. So, but I mean, when is Andy, like Tyler, you said, Andy Reid has always been that coach that wants to throw the ball, no matter what. When he had Brian Westbrook, when he had LaShawn McCoy, he wants to throw the ball. Yeah. No matter what wide receivers, I mean, Philly then never really had. I mean, outside of Terrell Owens, they never.
Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah. Deshaun Jackson. Yeah. Deshaun Jackson. Yeah. Outside of that, I mean, they never really had receivers that you would think we would want to throw the ball. But Andy Reid wants to throw the ball, and is he going to go back to that? Is kind of always been my question about Andy Reid. So I'm curious
if he's going to revert back to it.
Right.
That's some good point. You're right on with that, Sacker. Honestly, I think Andy Reid's going to bring he's probably going to bring a mixed game plan. Honestly, I think what's going to happen, he's definitely going to run the ball a little bit. But then once the Broncos, if their run defense stuffs them, which I believe they should, if they play the way they have been, because we're pretty consistent.
Right.
He's gonna revert back to what he knows, which is passing the ball. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna rely heavily on a dose of Kelsey more than even Tyreek Hill, honestly, because I think our defensive backs honestly can hang with Hill. I think Hill's gonna get his still. Don't get me wrong. I don't think we're gonna shut down Hill by any means, but I'm telling you that Kelsey has a better chance to have a big game against our D-backs more than Hill does, because Kelsey, even with Simmons, we've seen Simmons over the years. Like Simmons got
Sure.
better though. I will say this: he's
Sure.
the most complete. He's the most complete safety that I've seen him in all of his years. Obviously, it's just when as the years go on, you get better and better. But he's not making those stupid mistakes that I used to see like last year and the year before, to where he would just pick the wrong route or go for a pick or completely misjudge the coverage and completely not be there to back up his corners. He might do better against Kelsey, but Kelsey's still gonna get his. He's a beast. That's one guy that I just hate going against, and one guy that I hate seeing out there just because of his fire. He always brings it 100%. So, yeah, I think it's gonna be a nice mixed game plan from Andy Reid, and it'll depend on if our run defense shows up or not. And like I told you before, Teddy's got to be smart with the ball. We can't turn the ball over.
That's exactly right.
It's gonna be a short day.
Hey, man,
that is what's killed the Broncos against the Chiefs the last couple is those turnovers. The game against the blowout game in the snow last year, just I think they had like 3 turnovers in that game. It's just they can't. The Broncos offense can't turn the ball over. I mean,
we've been turning the ball over a lot this year, so
That's
I wouldn't
true.
worry about that so much. I feel
I-
like if you
Well,
have that problem, we
continue.
have that problem as well, especially this year. Like we've been turning the ball over so much. Like we've had a couple close games where we could have won, but interceptions, tip balls, fumbles, like a lot of uncharacteristic. Like the two big things that the reason why we haven't been so dominant this year is one, the turnovers, and two, our defense. Like in the past few weeks, we've been better. Like we're still turning the ball over. That's still a problem, but the defense has gotten better, and that's the big thing that like I'm really curious. Like which defense do you trust more, the Chiefs or the Broncos at this point? Like
with us, the Orange Crush for sure. We're still ranked. I believe we're top. I think we're top 10. We've been top 10. We were top 5 for the longest time. Top 10. I don't know. We've been killing it these last couple games. So I'm gonna go with us. We got the edge on defense right now. But I'm not gonna lie, your defense is no slouch. They were kind of getting punched in the mouth for the first like 4 or 5 games, but
right.
they've come to play these last 4 games.
and
But I will tell you this: we haven't touched on this. You touched on it a little bit, Bob. But our wide receivers, man, Tim Patrick is worth all that money we gave him. That dude is a beast. He's come out like the dude is the most consistent wide receiver on the field, even more consistent than the Chiefs. I mean, the dude, what did he drop? 1 ball in the last, like, I forget how 200 and something throws to him,
yeah,
or something like
he's
that.
good.
Some crazy stuff like that. The dude is really, really good. Then you got Cortland Sutton coming back, having the year he's having after the ACL. And then now we got Jerry Jeudy is the one that we're worried about. I mean, if Jerry Jeudy is somebody that we just don't know, like we're worried about him, then we are in good position because Jerry Jeudy is the best route runner, like, or one of the best. That's what they say. But the dude will come along. He's still a rook. He's coming off of a good first season where he had like 800 yards and something like that. It wasn't anything like spectacular that you're gonna write home about, but without getting injured this season, who knows what he'd be doing. So with those 3 out there, and then you got Fant, who's one of the shining stars to say with tight ends. He's not no Kelsey or a Kittle, but he's up there, maybe the tier right below them. So it's gonna be interesting. And I will tell you this, Bob, that you haven't brought up is our running back, but our rookie running back is a stud, bro. I haven't seen anybody plow through people like that since freaking, man, I don't know. It's tough for me to say. He reminds me of Terrell Davis and Christian Okoye. Besides when he met.
Besides the one
Steve
time
Atwater,
he got
who just,
tackled
like,
by Steve Atwater, the one time that he made
Tackled. That was not a tackle. That's more than just a tackle.
You can tackle a guy once in a while. That's fine.
That was more than just a tackle.
That's your job, right?
That was more than just a tackle.
Tackle, you saw his soul. his soul leave his body after what.
So here, hey, let me tell you.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you, Bob. What do you think? And Sacker, what do you think of Williams? Honestly, be 100%. What do you think of Williams?
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah.
I think he's. Go ahead, Sacker. I'll let you go first.
I'm very impressed, and in fact, you mentioned Pat Shurmur, and my issue with Pat Shurmur, which has kind of been rectified a little, is that he gets too pass happy. And with the running backs that you have, you've got to run the ball. We make fun of Vic Fangio and whatnot, for rightfully so, but he wants to, with the defense he has, he wants to run the ball. And so yeah, I'm a big Javonte Williams fan.
Here's the thing. I think he is a good running back, and I think he has definitely flashed. And what's his name? Melvin Gordon. He drops the ball too much. He turns it over, and I think he's still a good running back.
Can I interrupt you real quick? It's funny, we talked about Teddy and not being able to tackle. Nobody really said anything about Melvin Gordon fumbling that ball in that game.
Right. No, he does. I just want
to put that out there, Ben. But sorry to interrupt. But go ahead.
No, you're good.
That was horrible.
He does that
a lot. Yeah, he does. He does.
He's a good running back.
That changed the whole game right there.
It did. That was a 4th and 1, and he goes and fumbles the ball. I mean, that's happened time and time again. Yeah,
it's bad. You can't turn the ball over. You can't do that.
You can't do that. And he does that in key moments a lot. And the fact that he did not get that much slack for that was.
So here's my problem with the Broncos running game. Obviously you got a good rookie, and we talked about Gordon, but who's your offensive line gonna be this weekend? That's the question I have, because like they're beat up. They are. I mean, they showed out and they played well, obviously, against the Chargers. But man, like, is that a concern at all? Like, I mean, not even just for the run game, but like Teddy's gonna be getting hit.
That's been a concern for me, but somehow, I mean, yeah, Teddy keeps getting hit, which is another concern as well. But for some reason, they're still able to run the ball. I mean, they're still able to run the ball, which is crazy. Yeah, it is a concern. Yeah, it's a legitimate concern with all the injuries they have.
Like, do you have any starters that are playing this Sunday? Well, like Bowles is out, right? For sure.
We'll find out later in the week. We'll find out later in the week. But because
he's in COVID.
He's in COVID. Yeah, he's in COVID protocol. So
I thought they put him on IR.
No,
I thought he was in COVID.
No, it was COVID.
Yeah,
he had an ankle too, but he specifically it was COVID, so he could play this week.
And then we got Reisner, I believe that he might.
Riser might be. Riser might be coming. Yep, back.
I think he might have had a back issue or something like that.
Yep.
But I think we got good. The one that's been consistent has been our center, freaking Cushberry or whatever. That dude's been studying it. You know what I mean?
He's been.
Yes, but has he met Chris Jones?
Man, crazily enough, dude, you would think that we'd have to worry, but you gotta understand that, like, we've been losing people left and right, and then just look, we still were able to go ahead and finish out the game last
right. So
and, 2 weeks ago, not Philly, but against the Cowboys, we were able to smack them around with our crap line.
Exactly. So
it just depends on what day it is.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Do you guys got a prediction for the score?
I'm gonna go. Gee, if you gotta put me on the edge like that one, I'm gonna go 24. I'm gonna go 24 to 20 Broncos. That's just because I can't pick the Chiefs ever. Like I'm very worried about this game. But I would never in my right mind pick the Chiefs. Last week on my pick 'em pool, I have to admit this, which is very disturbing to me and disgusting. But I did pick the Chargers because in the lead. For all the there's 20, 25 of us in the league, and I'm in the lead, and every game means something now. So I picked them because I wasn't sure how we were going to rebound. So I am very, very apologetic because I usually pick the Broncos every single game, regardless of if I think they're going to win or not, just because that's how diehard I am. But figures what happens. It's just my year when, I decide to go against that, and then they come out and smack me in the face. So I'm glad it happened though. Glad they won. Yep. What's your prediction, Sacker?
Well, I'm a realist. Guys have probably realized that by now. I am in a pick'em league for money each week, and I did pick the Chargers over the Broncos last week. Not
you and me both.
I don't like picking against the Broncos. It's the hardest thing for me to do each and every week. If I truly think they'll win, I pick them. But it's hard. It's hard. My prediction for this game, similar score, 24-17 Chiefs. And that is hard for me to say, but yeah.
I know it was. I can tell.
But yeah.
Bob's over here. Here's Bob. Bob's gonna go with the you know what Bob does. Here's my prediction for Bob's prediction is he's going to do his reverse psychology crap where he freaking and they're like, well, I think the Broncos are gonna kind of just really bring it to the Chiefs and and I'm really scared about this game, but I still see him picking the Chiefs probably by 1 point or 3 points or something like that.
So what's your prediction?
All right. So one thing we really haven't talked about is how Andy Reid does on after a bye. Like the Chiefs have been on a bye. So not just that, the bye, Andy Reid's
We're gonna hear all about that this week. I know.
He is a better coach than Fangio, obviously. I think the Chiefs have the better quarterback. I think, again, for me, if both teams show up to play, it'll be close. But again, like we talked about, turnovers have been such a crazy thing this year, and teams that shouldn't win have been winning, and it's just been a weird year. I do think you guys can beat the Chiefs. Let me preface this. I think it'll happen in Denver if it's going to happen. I don't think it'll happen Sunday night versus the Chiefs, but I am feeling like it's one of those games where I'm going to be nervous the whole time. Like it's not one of those games where I'm just sitting back and be like, yeah, we're just going to stomp them. Like that's just the way it's going to be. Because division games, particularly in the AFC West, have been crazy. And so with that said, and the way your defense has been playing, I think it'll be lower scoring. I feel like it'll be kind of one of those 21-17 Chiefs type of games. But I could see it, again, if a turnover goes the wrong way, then it could be the Broncos with that win, But I don't think that helps the Broncos. I feel like you guys beat the Chiefs. You're going to keep Fangio, and things are just going to be still you'll be better. Obviously, you guys have done better this year than you've had the past 5 years, but it's still, I think, a mediocre, not quite mediocre, but one of those. You'll be I think you'll be a playoff team that's those one and done playoff teams. You won't be like a contender with Fangio, I don't think.
Well, let's beat the Chiefs, and then, even though my prediction, I don't worry about that. I'll be happy if we beat the Chiefs this weekend. I will be happy. I will be very happy. I will not worry about the big fan. He probably will be here next year if they continue. But but
I think he's on his way out, honestly, regardless, unless we get to the playoffs and get a win.
I
Like
agree. I
we'd
agree
even
with
have to
that.
get a playoff win.
I
Yeah, I
agree
think
with
we'd
that.
have to get a playoff win even, or else the dude's out. Honestly, I could see Peyton wanting to get a new coach in there.
His own
Honestly,
guy. His guy. Yeah, I agree
yeah,
with that. I agree with that.
he wants a guy in there. I mean, nobody wants this guy that has the, you know what I mean, the old man face, the old curmudgeon face on nonstop, the old fart face. That's what he's got. That like I just got away
Face.
with the fart, and I'm very pissed off about it. Like that I had to smell it. That type of face. That's what he has at all points. He's just, I don't know, man. He's horrible at game management. It seems like the game's just too big for him offensively. I think he understands the defensive side of the ball, like, but then offensively he just does not understand it,
He's
and
a
he relies on Shermer and
yeah.
Shermer. Yeah.
He's a defensive coach. I mean, that's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in terms of game management, nah, he's not it. So
You got to have a better offensive coordinator if you're gonna be a defensive coach.
absolutely,
You know
absolutely.
what I mean? Yeah, you got
Yeah,
to have a
and Pat
better
Sherm,
offensive
yeah,
coordinator.
yeah, not
Shermer's not that.
no, he's not. So
Shermer's kind of a dick too. I feel like punching him sometimes. Yeah, I'm not a big Shermer fan, honestly.